So here it is. I'm going to sue the CIA to get some answers, right? I've been saying that I'm with the CIA, FBI. I've got all these things on my TrumanShow.com and I'm really curious. And now that I can get CIA under oath, I'm going to get some answers. I'm going to get some answers, and I'm going to meet my ladies, and I'm going to get laid. I know I'm going to get laid. It's going to happen. It's fun. I can't. I've gone to Jackpot Junction, and every time the ladies are out there, I guess in the rooms, the legs spread, waiting for me, but they don't answer the door. So this is it. This is going to be the chance that the CIA is going to come clean, stop being the pussy that they are, and come clean and unveil everything about my Truman Show. So let's bust open this case. What do we got? So I do my statements. I've got, if you look at the complaint, I've got, holy cow, 38 statements of accusation. I use the not version, and then they have to make the statement to indicate that it's, essentially I use the CIA has not been watching Chris Roller for over 10 years, as stated on my Truman Show. And sometimes I stated what's happening, and they have to negate it. And here I'm saying, put the statements in there, otherwise the default is the opposite. So in other words, make this, here's the statement, now put it in reply, otherwise the opposite is true. So I'll get rid of the not. So the CIA has been watching me. The CIA has never, there's a project, the CIA has a project to watch Chris Roller. No member of the CIA has godly powers. That's my patent infringement thing, which I was a little mistakenly about. Anyways, I've got in here the godly powers of inspiring and promoting the Iraq War. Those damn IEDs, I tell you, I question how they go off, how they're planted. It seems to be, you have to dig a pretty good hole in order to get those things in there, you know, and you got to cover them up pretty nice. It seems almost a little too mysterious how those things are planted and how they go off. And that's my things that are hidden like that and they go off are exactly, well, that's exactly what I'm good at defending against. In other words, snipers, minefields, IEDs, those can't hurt me. I offered to join the Army to be their front man in this kind of endeavor. Of course, they didn't. They're not going to get in the premises of a crazy man, evidently. What else we got here? The CIA is aware of immoral use of godly powers. The CIA fell victim to demonic godly forces. What's that about? That's well, my demons out there are issuing things and making things happen that like a while back the CIA and FBI were in a kind of a gangbang of each other, and I think it was like demonic forces were making that happen, and they weren't too pleased. I kind of found that out back in 2003. The CIA is aware of Chris Roller exhibiting godly powers. The CIA is aware of crimes committed against Chris Roller. Well, let me just bust through these quickly. Psychiatric conspiracies, there's poisonings, legal professionals have conspired against in my legal endeavors. Law professionals, I submitted 1,000 messages on the CIA website. I'm accusing them of intending to mate me. That they have knowledge of some ladies, my harem, and a whole bunch of babies for Chris Roller and something like that. They're hiding the lady friends. There was some son named maybe John or Joe, and his mother's named Diana from Massachusetts. That there's knowledge of another daughter, perhaps from Kim Olsen, originally from Minnesota. that they have knowledge of a phenomenon exhibited by Chris Rolla called spiritual sex, where women feel the sexual energy that I exert, that there's, 1 second here, that they conspired to institutionalize me on 2 November 2002. That was my third instance. It's third time. That's when I kind of a prank they played on me. CIA has knowledge of emails sent to a Bob Holly. Oh, at some point I got to talk about that. I got to get some time and start talking about the years 1999 to 2004. The CIA is they're aware that I'm psychic, that I can be a will to do things, that the Truman Show is based off me. They have knowledge of this telepathic connection group from Microsoft MSN, an MSN group called Telepathic Connection. It's 8,000 messages. Magic babies, immaculate conception, a whole bunch of kids I guess. CIA, the CIA appears into my apartment with their godly powers to occasionally watch me. They monitor my internet activity, they monitor my phone activity, and I'm a god exhibiting paranormal godly powers. They believe that I'm God with a big G, that they are the, quote, angels. When I talk about angels, boy, I've changed my mind about CIA being angels. They're a bunch of douchebags. CIA is aware of the FESA phenomenon, which is my truth under oath. The attorney for the CIA does not appreciate what I'm doing. The attorney for CIA wants Chris Rolla to dismiss this case. Anyway, so here it is. They're supposed to tell me these things and tell me, sort of acknowledging some of these accusations so that I can get some answers, right? That's what I'm looking for. That's why I do a civil case, so that you can do an investigation, you get discovery open, you can ask for questions, and you get answers back, and I got none of those back. I just got a dismissal. So let's see what happened in the response. So I did an amended complaint, and in here I'm talking about the LSAT and how screwed up it is. It's unbelievably hard test, and it's aimed at that. It's aimed at making it so difficult that you have no way of passing it, since they made it really difficult in '95. And I think the only way you can pass it is if you fill out, you just randomly fill out the thing, and then at the end you use magic, and you fill out the answers with magic, and then if your grades are good enough based on that, you pass. So I'm making accusations that LSATs. So I want to start making this a class action where I sue a bunch of people. And I'm talking about infringers and stuff. LSAT's in here. The LSAT test. LSAT test is unbelievably weird test. I'm very suspicious of that test. So what else is in here? Tithing. I got stuff in here. I guess I'm talking about tithing in here for churches. I talk about what's it called? Autism, in which my drug use, my overdose of my drugs, has caused an increase in autism over the years. They've had an increase. They don't know what it is, and they don't know what's doing it. And they think it's might be like some kind of like what's it called? Drugs, shots that you take for disease prevention. The inoculations, I guess. They're saying that was. But I'm seeing in here that these autistic children are a result of my overuse of my drugs. And what else? And I'm talking about like demons. When people die or something, they put them up in some Bubba zone and beat them or rape them or something. And they say this is going to take a loss. I mentioned like this might take 100 years for this lawsuit to get over with. Turns out it took about 100 hours to get it over with. Actually, 100 days. It's a very long process in getting a decision made. I mentioned that this related to fraud, which is a 6-year statute of limitations for fraud. And that's what it, anyway, so everything I can find within 6 years. Let's see, what was the response from the defense? Here's the catch-all beautiful phrase for defense. For failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, the cause of action may be dismissed for failure to state a claim when it appears beyond doubt that the plaintiff cannot prove any set of facts to support his claim that would entitle him to relief. Now, if there's not a more passive sentence than that, because when you start adding passive to passive to passive, you get a cabodulation of nonsense. That's exactly what this crap means. They figure out as many passive words, verbs and words they can use to essentially mean this is a big blob of nothing. And then they actually expect somebody to actually say dismissed from that. I love from this. I love this. This is in everything. For the purpose of the motion to dismiss, facts in the complaint are assumed to be true. I love that. I love that. I know that. I know that. That's why I'm looking for the opposite. Everything I state is assumed to be true until I hear a statement that negates it. I don't hear these statements that negate it. This is so strange that these things get dismissed. I love this statement here. To avoid dismissal, a complaint must allege facts sufficient to state a claim as a matter of law and not merely legal conclusions. Well, if I evidently what I'm doing is, and not merely legal conclusions. So what I'm doing is, I'm saying all these things happen. Those are legal conclusions, but evidently attempted murder is not a matter of law, and attempted murder is not is not a claim of a matter of law. I haven't a clue. It's a tort, and I did properly file the tort. You can file tort claims against the federal government, and I did all that. It's such a strange thing. It's like, you must do this and this and this. And I did everything, and I stated a claim, and I stated it. It's strange. It's like they're saying, you need to do this and this and this. But they're not telling you I didn't do this. They're just saying, you need to do this and this and this. But they're not stating, Chris, you didn't do this, and thus dismissed. They're just simply stating dismissed. Oh, God. What else? Again, another statement here says, pro se complaint must still contain specific facts to support its conclusions. Nowhere in it do they say the defendant didn't do that. See? They're telling me everything. They say it's like they make it fun. It's like, well, Chris, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, and I complain, you're supposed to do this, but they're not telling me I didn't do this. Oh, God. So I did a motion for the hits. What else? Did the direct oath access to get some money for the oath. I know nobody could lie on their oath. It's a beautiful system. If I get a judge to stop dismissing my crap and actually pay attention to what I'm saying, everything I submit is completely ignored. Everything. Disqualified judge, I disqualified him in this case too. Judge Noel. And let's see what the order is from the judge. Actually, this judge is Gene Graham. Honorable, of course. One second here. All of the motions are denied as mute. To disqualify judge is mute. It says in the report of recommendations is essentially the order from the judge. It says the allegations in the complaint are essentially unintelligible and it's difficult to frame the substance of Roller's claims. Yeah, like when I filed for a motion for summary judgment for a hit attempt. I guess it's hard to understand what Roller's doing. It's hard to understand. Yeah, of course, if you're a douchebag, if you're a dipstick judge, I guess you wouldn't understand what English means. They're used to non-combobulated bullcrap in their statements, so they're not used to somebody actually talking English. Here's a wild sentence. I got to highlight some of these. Where the merits of the claim are wholly substantial and frivolous, such that there is no controversy. No controversy means no dispute. No controversy to be decided by the federal court. That court has no subject matter jurisdiction over the claim. Holy stupid sentence. What the hell? Roller's claims are wholly without merit, and thus it is appropriate for this litigation to be dismissed in its entirety. Bless you, Judge Cran. Bless you. Bless your heart. You're honorable. And that's the end of that case. That was pretty short-lived, even though it takes like over 6 months for that to... There was a hearing in there, I think. Let's see how long of a time. From February to December. Started in February, ended in December. And this is besides, I had to actually file a tort claim with the CIA, and it had to be 6 months prior to the lawsuit commencing. They've got like 6 months to respond. If they don't respond, then I can sue them for the tort, for attempting to kill me, and conspiracy and all that stuff. So it takes a while for this stuff to... Very slow motion life when it comes to this. My show is very slow motion in this aspect. I tell you, man. But that's about it for this.